Welcome back to the J&J Show. I'm Jake.
And I'm Jason.
And we're once again joined by Kyle, and we're also joined by all-star soccer player and fellow PNN member, Carson Collins.
Hey.
And today we're just going to go over last week's matches. We're going to go over the Super Bowl, maybe some award picks because we haven't done those fully yet. But we are going to start with last week. Pretty ridiculous games. They both went to overtime. That's never happened before. What do you think about that, Jason?
I think the Drake curse is real. He had on a shirt with all four teams, and all four teams went to overtime this past Sunday. Let's see, who lost first? The Saints lost first, and then the Chiefs lost.
Was it in that order?
Yeah, in the order. Saints, Chiefs, next on the list is Patriots. I don't know. If the Drake curse is real, I don't know. But the way last week's games went, I don't think they should have ended the way they should have. I don't know. Anyways.
All right, Kyle?
I'm just going to throw this out here now. Both y'all thought I was crazy when I said the Patriots were going to go back to the Super Bowl.
I didn't think you were crazy.
Oh, no. But I'm just saying, y'all said the Chargers would beat them. Then y'all said the Chiefs would beat them. They're not going to get beat. I'm saying it right now.
Well, we'll get to that later because I don't agree with that. But
it was crazy, though, because of that pass interference or the non-pass interference call that the refs
here it
didn't
is.
call on
Yeah,
the Rams.
this is what I was waiting for.
I mean, there could have been two flags thrown on that play. One, it could have been a defenseless player, or two, it could be a pass interference call.
Or targeting.
Or that's not in NFL.
There's no targeting.
Yeah, not in the NFL. Just like defenseless player, personal foul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really thought there was – yes, there is targeting.
That's only in college.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But
same
anyway,
thing.
and then the Tom Brady happened to get into the Chiefs. Poor Andy Reid.
Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time. Keep going.
Thank you for your input, Carson.
Yes, you're welcome.
But Tom Brady happened once again to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes played a really good game, even though they were shut out in the first quarter. They actually came back, put up 31 points in the second half. The second half. But all around, it was an interesting week of football.
All right, so what I noticed is that whenever the Chiefs played the Patriots, I was talking to Jason about this yesterday and how the Chiefs have a lot more weapons on offense, like a lot better weapons. And, their defenses are probably about the same, but the Chiefs have such a better offense that they should have won that game. But the difference was the Patriots utilized their weapons more than the Chiefs did. Even though they're not as good weapons or as talented, they utilized them to their full potential, and so they won this. Gronk had how many was it? Six catches for 80 yards. Their running back, Sony Michel, had 120 yards. And then on the other side, the Chiefs, Travis Kelce got 40. Sammy Watkins got 40 also. Their top running back only had 40 yards, so they didn't utilize many of their top players. The only player with over 100 yards was Sammy Watkins. What do you have, Kyle?
It's one thing that I find really impressive about the Patriots is if you take a look at their backfield, they have three really good running backs. But if you put maybe Rex Burkhead, who's their big power back they like to use, especially on goal line. He's actually the running back who got the game-winning touchdown during overtime for them. If you put him on any other team besides Belichick's, I guarantee you he would not be.
There's a lot of players from
a lot of players like that. But I find that Rex Burkhead would probably be one of the biggest. Because, he's not fast, he's not that powerful, but in the Belichick system, he shines. And it really showed.
Belichick is good at getting everything from each player that he can and just using it to his full potential. But so were there any surprises or someone who overperformed or underperformed in those games?
Tyreek Hill.
Underperformed?
He only had
one catch.
shot play. It was for 42 yards. It was a great play, but other than that, he was double covered the whole game. He was never open at any point. Patrick Mahomes still had
Anybody. Yeah. No, well, on the playoff teams.
Oh, well, I think Edelman did a great job because he kept catching the balls and stuff. But he did almost give away – it wasn't him who he almost gave away
he almost muffed the punt.
Yeah, but then they were called offsides.
Yeah.
Someone called him
No, it didn't touch him.
No, it never touched him.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about –
the
he
Chiefs
threw an
He's
intercept.
talking about the interception.
Yeah, but it was called offside. But if they did get the ball though, then
Chiefs
the
would've won the
Patriots,
football game.
the Patriots would have lost. Anyway,
Okay, well, I like that. Now, wait. Before we get to Super Bowl predictions, who do you think is the better QB, Tom Brady or Jared Goff? Kyle, why are you making that face? Jason, I'll go with you first.
Tom Brady. He's got 6 rings.
That doesn't. I'm talking about this season. The past doesn't matter. We're in the Super Bowl.
It's Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Okay. The fact that you asked that question, I don't care if it's now. I don't care if it's now, last year, or the year before. I don't care. Tom Brady is the better quarterback. Tom Brady will be in his 50s, and he will still be better than Jared Goff.
Well,
And I'm not dissing Jared Goff either. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. But Tom Brady.
This Jared Goff by saying he's.
I think Tom Brady's going to be playing for a while, especially after this performance in the playoffs where it looks like he's not even losing steam. I just think that's just not a bright question, even especially now. I think Tom Brady's going to light it up in the Super Bowl yet again.
what do you think, Carson?
No comment.
Okay, back to Jason.
Well, I'm going to go with Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff played a better season. I think he's the better quarterback as of right now. That doesn't.
Kyle is walking away. Kyle,
He had a
I think
better
just quit
QB
the
rating.
J&J
He had a
show.
lot more yards. He had more touchdowns, and he has more weapons. So it does help him look better. But I also think that the Rams are the better team. But now let's
Kyle's saying-
transition this into Super Bowl predictions. Who do you think is going to win?
Oh,
As of
I'll tell you right now.
What, Jason, go first.
As of today, if the Rams play great defense against Tom Brady, the Rams will win this football game.
I like it. Kyle?
I can't really I can't really see. I know the Rams have it in them to win.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't think Tom Brady's going to lose this year, especially just his outstanding performances back-to-back weeks against teams he was an underdog against. And I feel like people are going to go in this game.
I mean, he had the higher seed. Well,
But if you look at record-wise and opponent-wise, the Chargers plus the Chiefs, they were both had.
Yeah, you're
better
right. The
record,
Chargers had, yeah.
and they were also both predicted to win against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And I feel like the same thing's going to happen this week, so I'm going Patriots.
Carson?
Okay, so you have a 42-year-old who's been to the Super Bowl 9 times. Who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I mean,
Tom Brady, because he's freaking awesome.
how many times had Nick Foles been to the Super Bowl?
Probably not as many as Tom Brady has, and he's 42, and he's still going. So, thank you.
Yes, Kyle?
Nothing. I was just adding that he's only been to one Super Bowl.
Yeah, and did he win it?
He did actually.
He did win it,
Yeah,
didn't he?
but Tom Brady's been 9 times, right? How many times out of those 9 times has he won? 5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah,
Yeah,
5.
you're right.
He's won 5. He's won 5.
He's not 1-6. No.
Steelers still hold the record.
This will be his 6th one.
This
if he
will be
wins.
his 6th one. So, yeah.
I think
Let me add something just real quick, just for everybody to know. I'm not a Patriots fan at all. I just really think
he's actually a Steelers
I'm
fan,
actually
which
a
doesn't make
Steelers-
sense.
Which is I know it's very it kind of contrasts what I'm supposed to say, but I do think Tom Brady is the
Okay,
best.
respect
quarterback.
where it's due. I like it.
I know you got to respect the person who beats down you every year.
I respect Tom Brady, but I just think that the Rams are going to win. I think that the Patriots almost lost to the Chiefs, and they got quite a few calls in their favor. And they're basically playing the Chiefs again with better defense because the Rams can match the Chiefs' offense, but they also have better defense. And the Patriots only won by a score with the refs' calls in their favor. I think that this goes towards. I think we are talking about. Yeah.
But the same thing goes for the Rams.
Yeah. Well, they got one call in their favor, and that might not happen again. And also, this is kind of funny because it is the youngest. I think this is the biggest coach age gap. Yeah. Is it also the biggest quarterback and head
I
coach?
think it's 17 years, I believe.
And head coach. This is the youngest head coach versus Bill. How old is he? Like 95?
Bill's old. but
Bill's old.
I believe Jared Goff is 24 and Brady's 42.
And McVay is 32?
I remember McVay played Julian Edelman in college. I remember
Yeah.
reading about that the other day.
Okay, so we're going to move on.
Wait.
Yes, Carson?
Can I just have like a little side note here?
Mm-hmm.
So I was told to be a Buffalo Bills fan. What do y'all think about that?
That's disgusting. Who told you that?
Thank
who
you.
did
I
tell you
don't. Just some random kid walked up to me today and said, "Hey, you should turn into a Buffalo Bills fan instead of a Patriots fan."
All right,
I was
well,
like,
he is a loser.
No, thanks.
Literally, he's lost 4 times in a row.
Okay.
All right, so
Don't be a Buffalo Bills fan. They're not going to be good for a long time. Yeah. Just like
So what do you guys also think about? There's been rumors about a rematch. Saints Rams. Do you think it's going to happen?
Rule 17.
Do you think it should happen?
Rule 17.
We've seen it on the
Section
internet.
2, Article 3 says that Roger Goodell can literally change the outcome of the game or restart the whole game or restart it from where the non-defensive pass interference happened.
Yeah,
I mean, that was such a big no call.
He's never done it before.
Yeah, and we were talking about this yesterday. We were like, it's never happened before. And I was like, well, if you're going to start somewhere, that'd be a great place to start off of missed no calls.
but why does this get to be the first one?
Because it had the biggest implications. It's playoffs. And usually, like, plays like that happen in regular seasons. Like, yeah, you should change the outcome of the game. That probably changed the outcome of the game. But this is a playoff game, so.
Yeah, but plenty of calls have happened in the playoff games. And also, it's like – I feel like some Saints fans and stuff feel like they're the only ones that have ever gotten robbed. Like Dez didn't catch it, but like he could have that game should have been overturned. There's plenty of games he could have overturned or restarted, and he hasn't done it yet. So it also kind of showed that maybe he has a favorite. It kind of looked bad. I feel like he should just leave it alone. It happened. It happens to everyone, every team eventually, except for maybe the Patriots. The refs love them.
The refs do love the Patriots.
What do you think, Kyle? Do you think that this should be replayed or overturned?
I think, okay, I'm not going to lie. Saints fans, you got robbed.
Yeah.
Should have been a pass interference. But who is to say that in an alternate universe where the referees throw that flag and they get a 15-yard pass interference, who's to say Drew Brees doesn't drop back and throw an interception next play?
Yeah, like he did in overtime.
Yes.
He had the chance to win it again.
It's a restart. So.
It's not a restart.
No, he could.
You pick up at that moment.
He'd probably start it.
You're restarting from that moment. So
That's what I'm saying. Who's to say Drew Brees doesn't drop back right after the play and just throw an interception?
I feel like the Rams would have the momentum and they'd still win the game.
I know. And the thing is, to me, I mean, y'all have had 2 tough years in the playoffs. Last year was a Minnesota Miracle.
Last year was their fault.
Last year was their fault.
Yeah.
No, this year it wasn't their fault. But I mean, come on. 2014, when Calvin Johnson went against the Cowboys, and there was a blatant pass interference call on Calvin Johnson, and no one called it. I mean, you didn't see, fans raising Cain then. I mean, sure, no one was happy.
They got over it because bad calls happen.
That's what I'm saying. It happened.
We did with Dez, too. Well, we're still kind of talking about that, but still.
I mean, y'all got karma for the Calvin Johnson thing.
But also, we didn't get an overturn. The Lions didn't get an overturn.
That's what I'm saying.
So this shouldn't be the first one.
Happens.
Just it's part of sports too, because there's bad calls in baseball, in football, in soccer.
Yeah.
What do you have to say, Carson?
There's bad. I mean, you're not gonna have a good ref or a good umpire.
Is that all?
They're always gonna make bad calls.
Okay, yeah,
in
I agree
every
with that.
game.
Okay, so let's move on to. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to awards. All right, so we're gonna start with MVP. Who do you have?
Patrick Mahomes, he's had a great season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
P. Holmes, can we all agree?
Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes. Okay. Mahomes. Okay. Why don't you like Mahomes? What's wrong with Mahomes?
I don't like him because he went against Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's great.
All right, moving on. All right, Coach of the Year. Who do you have, Jason?
Coach of the Year, Sean McVay. What he's doing with the Rams.
But he got it last year.
Get it 2 years in a row then, dude.
But
he's going to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, but the improvement from last year to this year is minimal.
Okay, then let's go. Coach of the Year. Chargers.
All right, that's a good one. I like that one. Anthony Lynn.
For Coach of the Year for me, I will go with Matt Nagy for the Bears. Now, if you look back last year, well, the Bears are just a complete embarrassment.
4-12.
Oh, I know. They went against the Steelers last year, and they blocked a kick. And that's not the funny part. The funny part is they were returning it for a touchdown, and then they fumbled it. I believe that is the sum of last year's Bears.
Potential, but no.
But then you look at them this year; they went 12
12
and
and
4.
4. They reversed
had
it.
the best defense in the league. They added Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky was playing really good in his sophomore year. They had 2 really good running backs with Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard, and I believe Matt Nagy really turned this Bears team around. And I feel like they're going to be a big threat in years to come.
Yeah, me too. I feel like this is a new young team. And actually, I had 3 coaches I wanted to say for Coach of the Year. Matt Nagy and Anthony Lynn were 2 of them, so I'll just go with my third one, which is Pete Carroll. They were supposed to be rebuilding. They were supposed to not have a positive record, and they went back to the playoffs. And that really just says that Pete Carroll is still one of the best coaches in the league. And we kind of forgot about him after the Seahawks went out of contention. But is that all you have to say for Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's move on to Rookie of the Year. Who do you think? This one's pretty obvious in my mind.
He had a lot of options for it. Baker Mayfield at the Browns. He won a lot of games. He got them to 7 wins. The Browns got 7 wins. The Browns don't get 7 wins a lot.
And if they had a kicker, they probably would have went to the playoffs. Because like, what was it, 7 of their games? 7 of their games were lost by 3 or less points. And they had an awful kicker this year. So think about it. If they had a kicker, they probably pick up at least half of those, get 3 more wins. They could go to the playoffs easy.
Yeah, a few more. You could talk about Saquon Barkley, what he's doing with the Giants. You talk about Nick Chubb at the Browns, too, helping out Baker Mayfield in the backfield. And the Patriots have a running back named Sony Michel who's going off right now.
From Georgia.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's also from Georgia.
That's who I was going to say, guys.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Baker Mayfield just because he got the
Okay.
Browns to 7 wins.
There we go. What do you think, Kyle?
I actually saw a redraft on the NFL on NFL.com yesterday when I was home, and the one thing that really shocked me was it had Sam Darnold going number 2 with the Giants, and I know they had a lot of quarterback trouble, but I mean, would you really take Sam Darnold over Rookie of the Year Saquon Barkley? Because all I'm saying is Saquon Barkley, with absolutely no offensive line at all. I watched his team play. The rushers were getting there instantly. He was 3rd in the league in rushing, and he's debatably one of the best running backs in the league right now as a rookie. I love Baker Mayfield. He's a good quarterback. He led the Giants to 7 wins. Not the Giants. The Browns to 7 wins. But I have Saquon Barkley running Rookie of the Year this year.
All right. I'm going to go with a pretty obvious choice in my mind, Baker Mayfield. I think that he proved everyone wrong and that he definitely deserved to go first. I thought he was going to go first from the start. I thought he was the best player in that draft, and he kind of proved it this year as he turned a team around. Barkley didn't really turn his team around. And I know it's harder to turn a team around
When you're a running back.
when you're a running back, but also he was so inconsistent, Barkley. And I know he didn't have a line, but Barry didn't have a line for most of his career.
Saquon isn't Barry.
Well, I know. But Baker, what do you have to say, Kyle?
I just want to add something. That is somewhat true, that he had maybe a couple off games in the rushing, maybe 50 yards or under, maybe 70 or under. But you also got to look at his receiving stats. Whenever he couldn't make up in the run game, he had about 70. He had 70 yards in receiving, and we all know that Eli Manning isn't the Eli Manning a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Which 70 yards in receiving for anybody on that team is pretty impressive. But wherever he didn't make up in the running game, he made up in the passing game.
Okay, I mean, I like Barkley, but I just think Baker was more consistent. He added more to his team this year, and I definitely think that he was one of the sole reasons that the Browns were turned around like they are. And, okay, they're going to I think the Browns are going to be in contention next year. I think they're going to the playoffs. I called it this year, and I missed just a bit short. I feel like they could have still done it this year, but I feel like Baker just did more for his team, so that's why I go with him for Rookie of the Year. Now, what do you think about Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Mm-hmm. If you don't know, you don't have to comment on it.
I'm going to go. Who had a good defensive year? Jalen Ramsey was supposed to have a good defensive year.
He's not a rookie.
Not a rookie? Okay.
All right. Do you
I
just want to
could've swore
pass
he
it to
was.
Kyle? No.
I could have swore he was.
Kyle, you got any take on this?
Just calm down over there, Jason. But rookie of the year.
Don't get thrown off the show now.
Calm down over there, Jason. You don't.
Keep going, Kyle.
Sit back in your seat
Rookie,
there.
defensive rookie of the year. I'd go with Derwin James. He was strong safety for the Chargers, but really, if you watched him play, he would go down, play nickelbacker a couple times. He would go play slot receiver, not slot receiver. I meant slot cornerback. He was really all over the field for the Chargers. Excuse me, for the Chargers. But if
Calm
you
down there, Kyle.
All right. So is that your pick?
for the Chargers, but yeah, I have Derwin James winning defensive rookie of the year. And I watched the thing where they interviewed Anthony Lynn, and he was already saying that Derwin James was already the leader of that defense.
Carson, you have something to add?
Basically what Kyle said. I think he was a very good defensive player.
I think that it should definitely. I think it's obvious. It should be Leighton Vander Esch. I think he was the best linebacker in the league.
Shut up, Jake.
He was the best linebacker in the league.
Carson, this is the time to say what I told you to say.
Wait.
Shut up, Jake.
Wait.
Cowboys fanatic.
No,
Shut
I
up,
haven't
you're a
picked any-
Cowboys
I haven't
fan.
picked. I haven't picked any other Cowboy for any award.
Shut up, Jake.
Wait, why shouldn't he? 'Cause Who's better?
You're just picking a Cowboy just because he's a Cowboy.
I haven't picked a Cowboy yet. Who's a better linebacker? Mm-hmm.
Who's a better linebacker?
Yeah,
For
give it to
defense-
Cal. No, who did
No,
better
he's talking
this
about
year?
defensive rookies. Though.
No,
Possibly Darius Leonard, who led the league in tackles, but by I believe like 20.
yeah, but also Leighton started like 6 games later, and he leads in average tackles a game.
So if you start later, why would you get defensive rookie of the year then?
Because he
have a
almost
later
caught up.
start.
He almost caught up. He was second with he was like 15 under Leonard. Started like 4 games in, and he leads the league in tackles per game. So he got more tackles a game. He proved that if he played all year, he definitely would have passed Leonard.
Now, I'm not saying that Leighton Vander Esch isn't a great linebacker, and I believe he is going to be one of the best linebackers in the coming years. All I'm saying is, he didn't have the stats to go along with it.
So maybe if he played all year,
If he played all year, I would be behind it.
Okay.
But he doesn't have the stats, the numbers, the minutes to go along with winning Rookie of the Year. And that's just a really big thing when it comes to winning awards.
All right. So I think that's going to be all for today. Next up, I think it's going to be me and Kyle doing a draft pick. Maybe Jason, if he wants to join us. And we might talk about a few other things in the NFL. But that's going to be all for us today. I've been Jake.
And I'm Jason.
And we hope you tune in next week. This has been the J&J Show.
Oh, also, today is Carson Collins' birthday. We'd just like to shout out a happy birthday to her.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks, everybody.
All right. And goodbye.
Bye.